Hello, guys. I have a background check today. Don't you see all that stuff in the background? Um, Today I wanted to talk to you guys about walking with Jesus and the powers of walking with him. Um, I wanted to kind of get deeper on my travels out on walking with Jesus. Um, a lot of people think when you're walking with Jesus, you have to walk on water and forget where you came from. Let me tell you, that is not what walking with Jesus is about. Um, First of all, walking with him is different. It's a different walk. And sometimes you might fail at that walk. And sometimes when you're walking with him, it might be hard to walk. And sometimes when you're walking with him, you would want to look back. But you don't want to necessarily be looking back because Jesus is definitely somebody you would rather want to walk with. So, let me tell you a bit about my story of walking with Jesus and how did I walk with him and why did I choose to walk with him and why do I believe that he is real? First off, I chose to walk with Jesus because that was the only way for me. I remember my light always was on. I would have dreams that something was turning on and off, but it was still on. And so my dreams to me is a walking with Jesus type thing. Because when I go to bed and sometimes when I wake up, I feel better. Most of my dreams were 100% real. And I just say a lot of people didn't believe in the dreams, but they don't realize that if you don't believe in one thing in the area, you don't believe in all things. So there's a lot of things that people kind of don't understand that the dreams that you're having is a really, them dreams you need to pay attention to. And so for me, when I began to walk with Jesus, it was anointed thing walking with him. And I was walking with him to find out, not when I had the babies, before I even got here, before I even got in my own place, and before I accepted that it was okay to be alone. Some people don't realize that it is okay to really be alone because while you're alone, if you've been chosen to be alone, that means God is calling you to do something. And so while you're in that wilderness and you're noticing you don't fit in, that's because God's calling you. And he's going to be tapping on you for a while until you go. I was one of those people. So growing up, I remember me just hanging out with all types of people. Well, when you're on this walk, unfortunately, you can't hang out with all types of people. You have to really be careful who you're hanging out with when you're on this walk. When God said not to hang out with the ungodly, and I'm a people person, that was hard for me because I talk to everyone and I don't disown anybody. I'm just such a lovable bear. And so when God said don't hang out with the ungodly, I didn't even know what he was talking about. And it didn't even have to be dealing with people who are just always just doing drugs or alcohol and all that stuff, but it had a lot to do with people who didn't believe. And not necessarily, well, in my theory, not necessarily believe in him, just in general. They didn't have no type of belief. Somebody that claims to love God and they don't believe through the bad times. That's something you got to look at. Because God is going to be with you in both areas of your life. Sometimes when people get up here, they get a little bit big headed They forget where they came from. Me, on the other hand, I remained solid. But even when I remained solid, people continued to attack me. When I was walking with him and I would be crying, I would fall out, a lot of people would just put the religion in. Well, you are a Christian, you should not do this, and you are supposed to believe. And no, that is not that is not what God does. What God does is he says it in his words that it was a time to cry and it was a time to be happy. So you're going to have your moments when you with Jesus that you're going to cry. You're going to be scared. You're going to even try to run away. But when he said, for Christ you live, for Christ you shall die. Let me tell you something. Temptation is always near. But when you raising your hand up high during the struggle and you talking about, Lord, I believe in you, and you praising him during your struggle, and he comes to you, and then all of a sudden you like, oh no, we can't do all this. You removing everybody. Oh no, and Jesus will still go pull you because he remembered. He's like, wait a minute, you up in the wilderness and you praising me at your struggles, at your most worst, and you just holla, hule. And so that was me. I was telling Jesus no. But he saw me. And I was such a giving person. So I was giving out the wrong things. I was giving out every single one of my blessings. I mean, I was focused on everybody else that you would say they were my kids more than my own kids was. I mean, I was the type of girl that gave out more than I received. I loved everybody. So when I was in the wilderness, God looking at me like, what in the world is this girl doing? I was putting on my blessings on everybody, just saying, oh yes, and it wouldn't click on, so I was forcing it. I was like, you gonna get this blessing, and it was not for me to give, but God was with me. He was with me. He was like, I don't understand this little girl. She's like a miracle, man. The girl sitting here doing the struggle praying. The people didn't know what this girl was doing at home alone. They looking at the outside appearance, but they didn't know who they were talking to in the inside. They didn't know that this girl was sitting in the wilderness praying for all of them, praying for their files to come down. That she was praying for them to have a better life. She was in her home doing things that a lot of people like, man, what's she doing in the house? Some people thought the girl's crazy. Like, is she doing some witchcraft stuff? Some voodoo stuff? Nah, the girl was doing godly things. Now, she was called on the psychic end because the psychic really, real life came to me and wanted me to go on their team. But I couldn't. In my mind, God was saying, no, no. And I kept hearing the no. My gift was so different than others. I had a gift, and it was to see, it was to hear, and it was to talk, and it was also to see the unseen. So I saw angels. I would see different things that other people would think that I was crazy. I remember when I was little and someone passed away, and I saw myself in the dream jumping on clouds with this person. So I remembered, and I was thinking about it in my mind where I entered the heavens alive. And so you're looking at me in this video like, what in the world how did she enter the heavens alive? Well, see, God says in his word that we are dead, but we are alive. We all have these type of diseases, but we're still alive. So in this, I was so into the dreams. Like, I couldn't even wait to go to bed. Like, going to bed was my favorite thing. Like, I'm like, yes, I'm going to bed. Like, I was so excited. And even when people looked at me like, why does she love to go to sleep? And some people would try to quote scriptures at me saying, God said, don't sleep. Well, they don't realize that God said, don't sleep in those dreams. They don't realize that God said, pay attention to them dreams that He is giving you. Because those dreams are like your own world. Your own world for you to move on. He will reveal things to you in your dreams, so pay attention. You're looking for answers, and it's right in front of you. Look at your dream. When you wake up and you remember your dream, sometimes you gotta catch it, and you have to write it. You have to write it out and catch this dream. So listen to me when I'm telling you. You need to follow your dreams. When you follow the dreams while you're asleep, you'll start to see them come out in reality. Now, I know you're getting the chills, but this is something that you need to understand. When I was following Jesus, I was following the dreams. Okay? Shh. I'm going to say it again. When I was following Jesus, I was following the dreams I dreamed. How did I become so positive? Why do I always walk with a smile? See, Jesus knew who I was. One day he kept showing me myself. The other day in my dream, there was a mirror here, right? He showed a smile, right? But boom, he broke it and he showed darkness. And what he mean is, in this mirror is, I'm smiling in the outside in front of people. But if he took my face off, it still has some broken areas. So what I'm saying is, sometimes the people that you see smiling, you need to hold on to them, because what they're going through inside is something that nobody knows. The inside is a world that they have to go alone. So when I'm telling you, when you're walking, you're going to drop something. But you're going to go down there and pick it up and keep going. Now, let me tell you. The dreams that I had was dreams that I had where I was walking on the stairs. And as I'm walking up these stairs, I'm dropping stuff and I'm going back down there to pick it up. I'm dropping phones and phones is on, but this is the free world. So the phone's on and I'm dropping stuff and the phone's on. And sometimes there will be people with me walking up these stairs. And sometimes it would be people I didn't even know walking up these stairs. And sometimes it would be me. What I'm saying is, you're going to be walking up some stairs in your life. Some stages in your life to where you think you're alone. But pay attention to those dreams and they'll show you are alone. Have you ever went to sleep and noticed that you're not alone? Even if it's a scary dream. Even if, just in general. You're learning and knowing and noticing there's always something going on in the dreams. There's always something moving. What is going on? Well, God is trying to talk to you in the dreams. He's trying to tell you you're not alone. Okay? And some people has been breaking down in their life and feeling like they can't do anything. But you can. See, when I started walking with Jesus, sometimes I would go back downstairs to pick up some things. Like, Jesus, what you doing? And I would pick up my phone in the dream. I would pick up, sometimes things were falling and I didn't need to pick it up. So I kept going. But sometimes, like the other dream, I dropped my phone and I went back to pick it up. but I was swimming in the water trying to get it. And the water was so cold. Now, in life, sometimes you can be so cold when you go back down them stairs because you're in the middle of the mix of trying to figure out where you're going. So for me, I realized the route I was going is the route I didn't need to go. A lot of people took it offense when I finally just accept their wishes. God removed these people out my life. God revealed to me who cared about me. God showed me the way. God rebuked me for my sins. A lot of people would always call me this word that I get annoyed with. Bougie. They called me bougie. They would call me, I'm acting like I'd have forgotten where I came from. A lot of people was just all over the place. But they've forgotten when I was in that wilderness, I was getting shot in the head and I was still walking. Fires was going on. People was trading on me back to back. People were using me, taking my soul. I don't know what I'm talking about, but let me tell you something. Taking your soul. People think when you say people just take it from me. They think that I'm always talking about money. Nah, I don't care about that money because that's replaceable. I work when I can. Look, I don't get paid that much, but that's replaceable. But my soul is not. Did you know people can take your soul? They can take your soul for granted. And what I mean by when they playing in your mind, they playing with your soul. It's not always you laying up and having sex with somebody or laying up doing some things with them, they taking your soul. They can take your soul by messing with your mind. They can take your soul by taking you for granted. They can take your soul by putting you in dangerous situation to save them. They can take your soul by you always protecting them, and when it's time for them to protect you, they gone. Some people are around you just to take your soul. Let me say this again. Some people are around you just to take your soul. Some people, when I said I'm tired of people taking advantage of me, I'm tired, they thought I was talking about materialistic things. That is replaceable. I can go to the store and replace that. But I can't go to the store and replace my soul. You hear me? So when I'm talking about certain things in my life, and when we traveling out here, sometimes you're going to get a little itchy. You're going to get a little bit chills. Because what I'm saying is not fake. It's real. Most people call me fake. You so fake. You act like you don't know. No, that's because I can feel you taking my soul, and I'm tired of you taking my soul, so I'm walking away from you. Now, I can pray for you from a distance, but I'm not about to have you. Your energy is too much for me. My mindset is not, I'm a little bit fragile now. And this body can't be around everybody because you don't realize there's power in us. And that's why I feel funny. That's why I always say, ooh, something going on. Because God gave me a gift, and He will give everybody else a gift too. But I have the gift to feel people's energies, okay? And sometimes it feels a little bit like I know when they don't like me. And I'll be sitting there like, okay, oh, okay, girl. And you don't like me. like I discovered. And that's why I'm outside the world, because I discovered when you drink alcohol and you're turned into this type of monster, let me tell you something now. It's not you turning into some type of monster. It's the energy. So some alcoholic people was beating up people and fighting them while they're alcoholic. And they got tired of being beaten up by them. No, it's their energy. Something that's making them angry, and they're taking their feelings out. But see, that's why on that can it says only what you can handle. Just like Jesus when he talked about drinking wine. Drink a little bit. You ain't gotta do all that now. You a little bit too turned up now. So most times when people drink, it depends on who you are around. Because sometimes when I drink around certain people, I would notice the difference. I would be okay, but then when I'm around this certain person, I'm going ham. And then when I'm around this person, I'm over here praying while I'm drunk. Let me tell you something. All this is different energies. You're smoking weed. You're going to have a different energy going on. You're going to have a high energy, or you're going to have a sad energy. When you're drinking water, you're good. When you're drinking juice, sometimes you get hyper. Listen what I'm saying, okay? When you eat food, oh, you feel good. When you're doing certain things, do you not realize this is energies? When you have teddy bears, when the kids are playing with their toys, what are they? Happy. These are energies. Did you not know that we're all moving based upon our energy? Yes. All it is energy. Now, some people, they look at me and they be like, man, Marquela, you're so jealous energy. Something that Marquela always into. She tired of entering. I am so tired to enter in the jealousy realm. I said, why can't we love on one another? Stop being jealous of me, because God's going to make sure he bless you. And that's why I always ended up in competition or feeling like it. If you're feeling like you have to compete with people, that's because they competing with you and you like, you can have it. And then look, they're so bad when you give it to them, they still try to compete with you. So for me, I always had to compete with people. That's because I was around the wrong people. So he was like this with me. Girl, come on. Girl, come on. And I kept hearing something tap me. It was a tap out of the world. And I'm like, wait a minute. I don't know what y'all doing, but I'm feeling something go like this. I'm feeling stretched out like I need to push something. I don't know what's going on, but God is telling me to push something. I don't know when he's telling me to push y'all. I don't know where he's telling me to go, but he's telling me to push something. So the moment I went to counseling, it was counseling. I'm telling you. I heard it in my head. And I heard it said, just go, just try, go to counseling, go to counseling. I'm like, okay, I'm going to go, I'm going to listen. And I went, and I went to that group counseling. I'm like, okay, boom! It was the best thing that I ever did, because the lady spoke knowledge into my ear, and I'm like, oh, whoa! So I'm hearing all these things and seeing all this smart stuff on the board, and I'm like, wait a minute now, this is something that I actually like now. And so, what I'm telling you, I followed my dreams right there when I saw this stuff on the board, and my brain just was like, it was something like it was revealing who Marquela really was. She was a knowledgeable person. The girl loved writing stuff. She loved to create her own deals and do her own thing. And she was a definitely huge leader. Not just a leader. She was a huge leader. She was somebody that did things differently. She was outside of it. And because she was outside and she could see through the inside, she was a cool person. She had the gift. She had a gift. And when she sat down with those people, she saw their insides for a long time. And so she was in there. This is Quay. They don't know who Quay is. It could scare them. And they would think that she voodoo people, but she not voodoo people. But she's Jesus people. But she could see their inside. And she's like, oh, something wrong with your heart. She was a Care Bear. So when she saw the little heart, she like, okay, there's something going on with that little heart right there. We gonna do something now. So she would try to, she loved difficult people. God gave her the difficult people. You know why? Because the heart. So what she do, she be like, like the operation. She like that. She like, oh Lord Jesus, this heart ain't getting together. So she had to go alone so the hearts can heal. Marquela energy could not be around these hearts because it was spreading. It was affected. So she went to Jesus alone. Just for Jesus to fix their heart. Because they were at her church service. Now look, let me tell you something. Everybody say, I don't need to go to church because I got my own church service. No. Hold on, baby. You got your own church service for you to build things so you can bring more people to the church. Yes, you got your church service. But it's for you to bring them to the church. For you to bring the souls because you can't do all this alone. When you are understanding that when you go to church, it is to cover you. So when you're outside the world trying to bring those souls into the church home, because what happens is if you bring in the souls and you have them stop to you in your church is going to be too much. And then you like, oh Lord, what going on? That's me. That was me. I would go downstairs and I would fix the hearts. But then the hearts was okay, but then they was stabbing me, and I'm like, oh Lord, I'm hurt. I was going through some things. I'm like, wait a minute, I didn't fix this heart now, and it ain't touching it right. Well, because I didn't do it correctly. I was supposed to tell them about what God did for me, and hopefully they go to church so they can see for themselves. A lot of people didn't see for themselves. So, because Marquela was sitting there like, I'm a Care Bear. Why this? Now the heart is full. She fixed it. She fixed their hearts. They ran off with her work. All right, we good. But she didn't know. Pop! The works that she fixed, they're still good. But it broke her. So she had to go get her heart fixed. Let me tell you something. Do you get what I'm talking about? Sometimes when you go and help other people and you go and fix them, you know what I'm saying? And you're trying to do all things because you feel so good to help them because nobody really helped you growing up. And you go and you fix them, you make them feel good, you do all things, and then they leave you behind and they hurt your feelings. See, God don't want his child and his kids to get hurt. So what he's telling you is that you help them, but you lead them to his kingdom. Just like Jesus when he was running around there and he was fixing everybody. And then somebody had something to say about him and they all traded on him. And then some of them watched him on that cross and he left him to die alone. And even though there was people with him, it was still him by himself and he was alone. But he arose. He was dead, but he arose. It's the same thing. Marquela was around here fixing everybody. Marquela was around here like a family counselor. She was like somebody who would come in and help everybody. She was a very, very great person. But people took that for granted and they forgot her works. They forgot that she was there. They only remembered what they did for her. They only remembered the things that they did and they forgotten her. So Marquela was getting too hurt. So she said, you know what, Jesus, I'm going to just talk to you. Because obviously every time I'm talking to them, I don't like what they saying to me. My brain is getting so offended. I just need to probably just talk to you alone. And then maybe I would be all right. One day she decided to talk to Jesus alone. Once she talked to Jesus alone, she started to figure out and realize that, poof, she got all the answers she needed. She just needed to go on that horse alone. Sometimes you don't need to have everybody in your business. Sometimes you don't need to tell everybody every little thing you're doing. Sometimes the answer should be, I'm doing good. And if there's something you really going through, ask God to send you people to help you. Because not everybody can help you in the areas you're going through. Not everybody could be there for you when you need them the most, because they're going through their own tribulations and trials. They're going through all of those things that they're going through. So you have to understand that you need to go to God first, because when you seek God first, He can send you those people. Let me tell you a story right now. Okay? I was carrying these things in the back. Yeah. There are 7 bins. Yesterday, we got our taxes. But in that, I was carrying these 7 bins home. I was gonna make sure my bins come, because I needed to put my clothes in those 7 bins. I'm rolling down the street with these 7 bins. And the lady was just like, and as she's driving, her intuition was, should I go help this young lady? Or should I drive off? And she followed the voice. She turns around and she immediately stops. I was halfway down the road. And the woman says to me, oh my God, you're carrying all these. Do you need a ride? Oh my God, you gonna carry all them bands all the way home? I'm like, girl, yeah, I gotta get what I need to get. She said, but you didn't call nobody or let nobody know that you need help? I said, what's that? And she started laughing. I said, girl, please, I don't call nobody. I get my stuff. I get my stuff. She was so appalled. She was really she was just shocked. So when she's being shocked and she's listening to me, she's still talking about these bins. And she's still like, I can't believe I've seen a young lady like you carrying 7 bins down the road. She said, oh my God, and you was just on it, girl. You thought that you was finna go down them roads. Let me tell you something. God sends you angels to help you so that you won't feel like you have to do things alone. So seek God first, and He'll send you those people who really, honestly, is going to help you without making you feel bad that they help you, with not putting in your face what they've done for you, with not telling you they did this and that and this and that. He will send those people to you. And even though you're like, I know they did this and that and then, no, God will not. God is not the God of guilt. So if you're feeling guilty inside your heart and you're doing things out of heart, you're doing things out of guilt. That's not of God. But when you're doing things out of your heart, like a Care Bear, when you're fixing those hearts, that's because you care about them. That's the difference. You remain solid even though they stabbed you. You remain solid even though they was mean to you. You remain solid when they left you behind. You remain solid when they stabbed you, smacked you, and was mean to you. You remain solid. And when you remain solid and you don't change, even if the weather's changing, that means you are the chosen one. So if you are okay with being alone, you are okay with being with the Lord. Okay? And if you accept that you are alone and you can be like, yeah, you are with the Lord. Because at one point of your life, you're going to have to be alone. Stop searching for love because the love bearer is on its way. I seen it. The world is still love out here. I seen it. And when you see things, it become reality. 2 boxes of pizza and 3 free shirts. Random rides. People randomly calling my phone. Like this morning, young lady said, "Did you need," and that's my neighbor, "Did you need, are you already up the street?" "Yeah, I'm already there." "Okay." I'm very independent, but God sent angels to you. So stop going out there trying to fight and fuss and argue and force people to be in your life or try to get your point across so you got to explain yourself to people. Stop allowing people to think that they can just take advantage of you and think that you're stupid. Stop allowing people to play with your brain and they think that they're going to get away with it because they're not. Because God is a good, caring, lovable God, and he's not going to just come around when he feels like it. He's going to be there for you every day of your life. He doesn't pick and choose. He wants you, and he wants you to get better, and he will care you. You go to God first, and he will send those people to you. Stop going to the people, because God's going to send you the right people your way. So in this, I just wanted to let you guys know that walking with Jesus is a very powerful thing. And this testimony that I'm telling you is something that I experienced in my life. And we're going to just be traveling out here all the time because I will not give up hope. See, superheroes are not always the people who are on TV. Superheroes are people like me who are powerful, that powerful to get on live view and tell you about their life. That's who a superhero is. I'm a superwoman. I'm somebody who never gave up hope. The dad dies right in front of my eyes. Before my dad died, I never met my deceased sister. See, before all that happened, I was in guilt about my grandmother. My grandmother passed away as well. You know what I'm saying? So I was in guilt because I had an attitude in my teenager years about washing her feet and not knowing that I prepared my grandmother for her death. See, I am so different. Just like how Jesus did, like Mary, crying on his toes and wiping it with her hair. She was preparing him for his death. So I was preparing my grandmother for her death. So when I thought, before I even had my children, you know what I'm saying? That I was nothing, but I was already something when I came out, the only girl out of my mama's womb. See, I never got the chance to meet my sister, so I was the sister, the only sister. So if you're the only sister, you're the blessing of it all. See, you are a miracle. You are somebody that will help people when they think that they on the ground. You are somebody that even when people didn't have no hopes for you, when you had your babies at a young age, when people walked out on you, when people traded on you, when people grouped you up and thought that you were stupid, you made it. You made it out of hell. And sometimes you'll come back downstairs to check on them. But you come back downstairs to pick something up and you walk back up there. I keep seeing stairs in my life because guess what? I done climbed my mountain. When people thought that I couldn't make it, when they thought that I was going to be on the ground, when they traded on me because they were so jealous and I was trying to figure out how. Because they had all these things. Like, you jealous of me? Because I did some superwoman things. I had a heart. And when you have a heart, people are jealous of your heart. And they want to snatch it out. But God is so powerful. And even though they trying to turn your light off, turn your joy off, turn your smile off, Turn all those things off. Boop, God turned right back on. Because he said, for Christ you live, for Christ you shall die. He meant that. His words are solid. He won't tell you something and leave you behind to rot. He is so sorry that those people left you behind. He's not control of that. But if you want to be with the Lord and you want to be with Jesus, he will make sure that you are okay. And that's what I love about him, because when he came to me, I was at my last. And he was always there for me. I was always a miracle. The only girl in the family. And the sister dies. He was with me at alone. And he brought down 2 daughters. Hallelujah. 2 daughters. So if he can bring down 2 daughters, and I was the only sister, he's bringing down blessings already. I could have came out and just hated the whole entire world. And at one point, it was a time for me to hate. And I don't care what nobody say. Read the Bible. He says it. It is a time to hate. It's a time to love. Well, it was a time that I was about to knock somebody out. Like that lady said, if you want to love, express hate. And if you want to hate, express love. She right. Because some people expresses things, but what they need to start doing is expressing their love for you. Because sometimes when you're hating too much, you need to love. And sometimes when you're loving, something that was me. I was a lover, not a fighter. But sometimes I needed to be strong. The hate information is just something that you needed to be strong. You needed to fight for your rights. And you needed to stop just saying, here, baby, here. That was me. I was that girl. Here, just have it. Here, just have it. Here, have it. Leave me alone. But then God said, he tapped me on the shoulder and said, you forgot something. Take your blessings back, baby. I told you I was going to give it back to you. So take your soul back. Here you go, baby. I got it back for you. And stop giving your soul out. So in this, I wanted to tell you guys a trail that I experienced in my life and how people thought, they could take advantage of me, or they thought that I was naive or all of that stuff. I wasn't naive. I just knew because God gave me the knowledge and I asked him to. When I went to counseling, I was the best thing I could ever do because, man, it was a knowledge out of my brain. Sometimes you have to go stay in the church house, but sometimes God said it. There's going to be some times where you want to be alone just for you to kind of re-heal and reboot. So don't overwhelm yourself that you got to go to church every Sunday and Tuesday and you're not feeling well. Or whatever service you got. Because sometimes you could pick a specific day to go and God will still love you. Because if you carry him around you, but you're still in his church home, that's all that matters. And not even that. Sometimes you don't go to church. You still should carry him. You still should be reading him. You don't have to always go to church. You don't. But you should read the Bible. You should spend some time, alone time with God so that he can help you. A lot of people are inviting me to their groups. But I want people to go to mine too. I want people to enjoy mine too. So I've been called and everything. But I take my business serious too. Because you can be supporting people in their business and visiting their groups and posting in their groups because they see the power in you. But you got to have the power in yours. Because I supported a lot of events over the years. But when I started doing Marquela the Life Speaker, nobody supported me in that. When I went to college, I went alone. When I went to counseling, I went alone. So walking with Jesus, you're going to be alone. And so when you're supporting people, I know me, I'm a huge leader. That's the difference. And a huge leader is somebody who, not everybody can train this woman. She is definitely a different person. So when I went to that lady, she was amazing. And then I went to another lady, and the only thing I learned that I was healthy. She did help me. So that's what I'm saying. I am a huge leader. My senses are different. So I like to support people and their businesses, but I want people to support me as well. Because if I can support you and knock on your business and, be there for you when you are at your worst, then why is it so hard for you to be there with me? You know what I'm saying? And it's been a struggle when it came to me with people. It been a struggle. Because when they help me, they putting it in my face. But then they ain't never heard me say, well, I did this and this. Oh, because I will. But I don't believe in doing that. My beliefs are different from other people. I believe if I put food in your home, I put food in your home. I believe if I let you come in my home, I let you come in my home. I believe whatever I let you do is because I was willing to do it. And I'm not going to rub that in your face. I'm going to move forward because I allowed myself to help you. I didn't have to help you. I allowed myself. So if I'm putting it in your face about what I did, then that means I didn't want to help you in the first place. Sometimes you got to remind people, but you don't have to remind them because they know what you've done for them. And so for me, I know I've been all over the world. In my city, a lot of people have a lot of business and they always invite me. But I don't want to give up on Marquela, the life speaker, because she wants to have her own business as well. She wants to support her business too. You know what I'm saying? And even though nobody barely watched the videos or nobody barely visit my, blog, the fact is I'm still like, okay, I see my spiritual ghosts and they visited. They sent me my dream. They showed me speaking. So it's okay if nobody support me because I supported myself. And I'm so proud of Marquetta, the life speaker, and her giving up here and speaking life to those who wants life speaking. So who wants their life spoken to? So thank you for supporting Marquetta, the life speaker, where she speak life to souls and those who wants to be spoken life to. Because the difference is people will try to sub me in their own special way. They will talk about me and call me fake. They will tell me, well, you ain't my friend, blah, blah. But when's the last time you gave me any money? When's the last time that you checked on me and my children? When was the last time you came over my house unexpectedly? When was the last time you seen me? When was the last time you ran on a bus for me? When's the last time that you really loved who I was? No answer, right? Well, people need to stop calling me fake and people need to stop treating me any type of way because I am walking with Jesus, and whether you like it or not, He is rather who I want to be. I can be an alien because you know what? Sometimes people think that they can just bully me and I'm just tired. Sometimes you be too fragile where you really just tell yourself it's time for us to go. And I was that type of person where it was time for me to go. I'm not going to let people just keep on popping me in the head and keep on being mean to me and then think I'm going to let you do that. And my brain is like, nah, man. So I left you a favor. I left you. And if you didn't want me to leave you, then maybe you should have treated me right. And then I wouldn't have to do this. Some people are really angry with me right now. And I'm just here to say, if you didn't want me to leave you, then maybe you should have treated me correctly. If you didn't want me to go, then maybe you should have just thought about that before it had to take me this far to just say, I'm okay with being alone. Especially my so-called friends. If you really was my friend, then you wouldn't be running off the mouth. If you really was my friend, then you would be showing up to my birthday parties. If you really was my friend, then you would be there for me like I was there for you. If I was such an important person to you, you would show that to me with or without. It's not fair that you think that you could just treat me any type of way and I have to sit here and let you just treat me this way. If I have to go, then I have to go. And then next time, maybe you should think about it. You should think about how you treat me. And then I wouldn't have to leave you. People don't know I cry about it. My eyes be itchy. But I cry alone. I pray and I cry and I pray and I cry. So it's time to get off. We had a very long conversation on today, y'all. But I just want to vent. So I'm telling you, Marquela the Light Speaker is current. So let me send y'all to prayer. Oh, Heavenly Father, right now in the name of Jesus, just continue to be with this family. Continue to be with this friends. Continue to be with Marquela the Light Speaker. Send her the right direction, Lord. Even when she thinks that she can make it or she cannot, send her towards those goals and dreams that you promised her, Lord. She believes in you. She has faith in you. And even when people left her, even when people traded on her, and when people hurt her, when people try to play with her mind, right now, Lord, just thank you for rebuking the spirit of fear. Thank you for just continuing to be with us all and send Marquela the right way. Send her the right direction and continue to be with her even when people did not want to be with her, but continue to be with her. And she prays for those who are not with her right now. She prays that they continue to do what God called them to do. She loves them. She cares about them. But right now, she's doing Marquela the Light Speaker. And whether they like Marquela the Light Speaker or not, she will speak. In Jesus' name, amen. You got to speak, y'all. Sure, because you going to be missing out on your blessing. And Jesus happy for me because he showed me Marquela the Light Speaker in my dream. He proud because this is what he wanted me to do. He wanted me to do this. And he knew I loved to be on video. So he said, baby, go on ahead and let that bright light shine. So let your light shine, y'all. Do your dreams and goals. Do your cooking. Do your braidings. Do all those things. And God will help you during the way. And when people is not with you and not people is not on your side, you can still continue to go because you got God on your side. Walking with Jesus is so beautiful. Walking with Jesus is something that everybody don't even realize. Walking with him is so much better than walking with them folks. That's why he said, trust no man, because man, they gonna smack you in your head. And even the ones that said, I got you. Ain't nobody gonna hurt you. That be the main ones that be hurting you. So just remember, when they turn around here talking about, oh yeah, ain't nobody gonna do why, woo, why. Girl, be quiet. Because you gonna be the main one stabbing me, smacking you, and I'm gonna be just shocked. Because you said, I have your back, girl. You ain't got my back. Jesus got my back. And if you was my A1 day one, you would never, ever, 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 ever left me in the first place. First of all, if you my A1 day one, when I'm in the time of my grief, it don't even matter. You still gonna love me and you still gonna be there, support me. And sometimes you don't even have to say something. You could just hug on me all day until I stop. Or you can pray for me if you my A1 day one. But a lot of people failed that on me. And they want to put their documents continuously blaming me. But you're not going to blame me no more. It's not my fault that God tapped me in the wilderness and I had to say goodbye. If you did not want me to say goodbye to you, then you should have thought about it when you put me through hell. Because I remember, man, Jesus already knows I was sitting in hell with people. Just sitting there, sitting in hell. And I didn't deserve to. Now I'm starting to see myself walking on the stairs. That's gorgeous. If you see yourself walking up them stairs, you're blessed. You might drop things, but if you see yourself continue and keep walking up, I don't care. If you see stairs in your dreams, you are blessed. So, hear me out here. Don't give up hope, because I didn't. I love doing this. This is great therapy for me. And even when people didn't support me in Marquella the Life Speaker, I still was speaking life to those who wanted to hear. So thank you for supporting Marquella the Life Speaker. Because at the end of the day, when they want me to always come to theirs, but they ain't coming to mine, no. You can share mine, but you ain't watching it. I'm okay. Because I want to be able to just help people. And I believe in if you want me to help you, you should help me. You know? Because we're supposed to love one another, not hate. But so many people hate me. You know, so many people wanted to stab me. And so many people claim to love me, but then their actions ain't speaking that way. I want something real. And God love was real, man. I thought I was going to be rotten. I was scared. But God said, no, ain't no way that this girl praying during her struggles and you think that I'm going to leave my baby to rot. Yeah, she was praying during her grieving stage. I'm not going to leave my baby to rot. She's praying during her grieving stage. A father never leaves their child behind. Never. And I love it. A father never leaves a child behind. A mother never leaves a child behind. A friend never leaves their friend hanging. And if you left your friend hanging, y'all was never friends in the first place. And the people thought that I left there hanging because I just tired of them using me. You weren't my friend in the first place. And that's how I feel about Marquella the Life Speaker. That people only wanted me because it was beneficial. They knew I had money. They knew I had certain things that helped them. But once they needed to help me, they rub it in my face, but their help was not as huge as mine. I did more for them, but they did more for me. If you were a friend, you remained solid regardless. You wouldn't pick and choose. You would just be who you are, and you wouldn't cut me off. You would listen to me like I would listen to you. You would pray for me like I prayed for you. You would support me like I supported you. I don't care how angry you is at me. My thing is, if I supported you, you should support me too. And that's final. A lot of people got mad at me because I was defending myself. I'm not stupid. I am not stupid. Don't get mad because I was defending myself, just like you defended yourself because you're mad because I'm speaking up for myself. I'm tired of people thinking that they can talk to me any type of way, but they can't even help me. I'm done. Marquella the Life Speaker. Have a very great day, guys.